Guys, for those of you who know me, you already know that I personally love and breathe America. I love this country just like I love my own, and there's really no arguing that. My whole channel has been mostly about it, so I won't even begin to explain that. But in this video, we're going to be talking about a little bit of cons. Why are the immigrants in the US leaving the USA? Now, in general, I'm not really talking about all kinds of immigrants. I'm going to be talking about the H1Bs, because those are the people who we asked this question from, and there are some H1Bs who left the US, and there are some H1Bs whose very close friends left the US, and the reasons were given out to us in a survey. It took a lot of time to produce this video, so without further ado, I'm going to be beginning, and I'm going to be giving you all of that amazing data so that you know, before you actually take that big step, what is waiting for you at the other side. It's important to know that there's a lot of money, there's a lot of better lifestyle over there that you can get probably, but at the end of the day, it does come at a cost, and that cost is generally not always stated so clearly. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you that cost. So before we begin, I would really appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button, and let's move on from there. All right, thank you so much for doing that. Let's begin with the top 5 reasons why immigrants, and specifically why H1Bs, are leaving the USA, even though their journey to get on an H1B has not been so smooth. They finally get it, and still some of them leave the US. First off, I want to be very clear. The US has so many pros that generally always outweigh the cons. But with that said, for some people, those pros don't outweigh the cons. We're going to be talking about those people in this video, guys. Okay, I'm not saying that the pros don't outweigh the cons. For me personally, I feel they always do, but you should know the perspective of these people as well. So point number 1, guys, is family. Every time your parents visit you or you visit your family, you see them grow a little bit older, and you realize in your head that, look, I wasn't there to see them grow old. I wasn't there to see this transition from from point A to point B. They aged, and I was just not present. In times of sickness, when your parents, your brother, your family, your cousins, they're in the hospital, and if you were in your own country, you would probably take a flight. Even if you were a little bit farther away, within 2 hours you could be there. But it's not the same when you're in the US. Sometimes you just can't make it. Sometimes you're at work. You really don't have a choice. You can't really leave so early, right? Even though if it's urgent, you can't. Sometimes the border patrol does not allow you to go. So there are all kinds of things that can happen. Of course, there's other things like events and weddings and all of these things that you miss. But again, they are not even nearly as important as being there for your family. And of course, when it's in the time of their need, you really want to be there. You wish you were there, and there will be times, and you can expect that there will be times that you may not be able to make it. Okay, not always. For some people, of course, it's possible, but not for everyone. I hope you understand that. So that was my point number 1, guys. That's why some people left the US. They are not in the order of anything, by the way, so make sure that you know that no point is more important than the other. The next point is the fear of deportation. Now, while you can make your family's life great at home, you can send them money, and you also make your life great, you upgrade your lifestyle, you earn so much more, you're in one of the best countries in the world. In terms of innovation, entrepreneurship, there's so much going on. The world stock markets follow the US markets. But sometimes all of that is just not enough for you. Sometimes all you need is stability and psychological peace, which you're not able to get because there's always this knife hanging on your head that, what if I am not able to stay in this country tomorrow? What if I'm not able to live in this home that I bought in this country tomorrow? But just because someone like Trump might come around again, and they might tell you that, no, you're no longer welcome here. And just that can really eat some people up. I know some people who had houses in the US, who purchased houses, they had to leave the US within 14 days just because they couldn't stay anymore. Okay, now there may be different reasons for this. Of course, there may be different kinds of policies that Trump brought about, or sometimes they're just not able to find a job, their H1B expired, something like that, of course, right? So they have to leave in a hurry. They have to sell whatever they own for whatever price they can get, and of course that's not generally the best option, right? That's why I know some people actually move to Canada from the US. Just because they're working in the US, they're not able to get mental peace. What they do is they move to Canada. So again, I'm just talking about leaving the US over here. I'm not saying they go back to their own country at all times, but you should know that mental peace is also one of the major points. Point number 3, that's restrictions on activities allowed. Now, depending on your visa, these activities may be different, but not always. Of course, if you're in the US on some special type of visa, they will only allow you to do that special type of thing, that one thing. If you're there to serve an employer, you only serve an employer. That's all you do. You cannot go ahead start your own business. You cannot go ahead start YouTube. You cannot even freelance. You are there to do one thing, and you only have to do that one thing. If you go ahead, try to expand, try to open up your wings, chances are that you may be deported. And that's not always how people want to live life, right? So some people I know, they have left because of this. Now again, at this point, I just want to give you a quick reminder that I personally love the US, and I feel that these people, these opinions, they are also correct. They're not wrong by any standards. But there are definitely pros as well, and I'm not talking about those in this video, so please don't go hasty in the comments. I just want to make sure that you know that. Point number 4, and this is very, very specific to H1Bs actually. Sorry about that. I know this video is generally about immigrants, but this one is specific to H1Bs, and this is that H1Bs are often exploited. They're exploited in such bad ways. I know people who have been in such bad conditions, and they just wouldn't leave the country, or they couldn't go back home so easily because the money aspect of it was really important to them, or the job security, or the quality of life. Those things were really, really important. But I know that some people have also left because of being violated on the H1B. Okay, so let me give you an example of this real person who actually reached out to me. So people would hire this person. Now US employers would hire this person to do, let's say, some type of job. Let's say it's software testing. And once they are in that job, they're training him for completely different activities, maybe customer support or something like that, and they're making him do that for the next 5 years. Okay, so that's the one thing that you need to be worried about. People will exploit you. Again, one more example, they will not only give you the customer support job, they will train you to do that, and then after that they will be keeping you on minimum wage, sometimes even below minimum wage, and you can't even report that to the authorities, because guess what, if you do, your H1B is in danger. So all of these things, right, all of these small things, they really matter. Psychologically, they affect you so much, and I know some people have left because of this. I'm not saying that this is what happens with everyone. I know 99% of the times this won't happen with you guys, but the 1%, they have left the US just because of this. So you should know this in advance. I want you to know this. Okay, there are always two sides of the coin, two perspectives, and I want you to have both of them. Of course, you already have the good side, so I don't have to talk about that a lot. I'm sorry I'm repeating that so much, I know, but I just want you guys to know that I personally don't really have anything against it. Point number 5, racism. Yes, it still exists in some parts of the US more than in other parts. Some parts are very well developed. If you're going to parts like Los Angeles, New York City, places that are really, really developed, you may see that, these things don't happen so often. I'm just saying so often because they still do happen, and I personally have had some experiences like that in the US. I know other people have had that in the US. Not everyone. I know some of you, your experience would have been great, and I love that. I want that for everyone. But for some people, they do still face racism in one way or the other. Some communities just don't like your community, and as long as you are a foreign person, they will continue to have that hatred in their minds, and there's probably nothing you can do to stop that. And so many of us deal with that. I know that people I know are dealing with that right now, and they're not able to do anything about it. Okay, so again, like I said, 99% of the times something like this won't happen, but 1% of the times some people were so exhausted with dealing with things like that, they moved to a different country. Okay, so with that said, these were the top 5 reasons. Again, keep it easy on the comments, guys. I know that all of this is not information that you're used to hearing, but these things exist. People on H1Bs, this is your life 5 years later if you're hoping to go for an H1B right now. If you're basically, going to go for an H1B right now in the next 2 or 3 years also, this is what you will be dealing with. Of course, there will probably be a dozen pros for every single con that I've mentioned over here, and I assure you, if I had to create a video for that would probably not even be a 10-minute video. It would probably last at least 50 or 60 minutes, because there's so many pros, I probably can't even fit them in a 60-minute video. So guys, with that said, there are these cons that made people leave the US, okay, and you should know about these. All right, thank you so much for watching. Again, keep it easy on the comments. Let me know what you think about it. Again, please make sure that this does not change your plans if you're hoping to go to the US. This is just stuff that you have to deal with once you're over there. Okay, there's no escaping it. And chances are you may not even deal with all five of these, maybe just one or two, but again, it's definitely going to be worth it, and I assure you of that from my personal experience and from the experience of thousands of people that I work with. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know this has been a long video. Again, go ahead, check out my Instagram profile. There's so much more waiting for you over there, and I would love to talk to you. Subscribe to the channel again. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.